Slayer! One of the coolest and most unique models from the entire Warhammer universe is Inquisitor Karamazov and his Throne of Justice. A ruthless, impatient, devout, uncompromising judge and executioner from Ordo Hereticus. He stops at nothing to uproot heresy and follow the Emperor's grand design for mankind. He even rides atop an ancient cathedral called the Throne of Justice, with a retinue of a lex mechanic which records his judgments, and a servitor that executes the guilty with a melter gun. One of the best pieces of Warhammer art ever is this. It was created by Paul Dainton. To me, it truly encapsulates how brutal Karamazov and the Inquisition are. Heretics are tied to Inquisition symbols and set alight. A swathe of flagellants and mutilated, expendable bodies follow in his wake, while a retinue of acolytes, crusaders, death cult assassins, and the condemned and sinful surround his throne of justice while he passes out judgment. Truly epic. This amazing art is what I used as inspiration to kitbash and update my own epic model, and in this video I'll show you how I did it. This artwork decided for me that Karamazov would be the figurehead of my newest army, an army of penitent engines, archoflagellants, and repentia. Speaking of armies, if you're new to my channel, I love to kitbash and paint entire armies, and I show you the process from start to finish. So if you like that sort of thing, please subscribe and check out my other videos. I also have a Patreon if you want more behind the scenes, and affiliate links below if you want to support me further. And just to let you know, the last army I painted, I donated to a charity raffle. So for just £5, you can win an entire 2,000 point Tyranid army. And all the proceeds go to a mental health charity. It'll also be posted worldwide. So there are links in the description below to the raffle, and I also did a video showing you how I painted it, so check it out. When I started this project, Karamazov had official rules in the game and an official model kit. I foolishly assumed with the announcement and release of the Imperial Agents Codex that they will obviously release new rules for this unique and famous character. But a few months into my project, I found out that Games Workshop decided to retire him and his kit, and Eisenhorn, among others from the game, and only give them Legends rules. I couldn't believe it. But instead of going into a nerd rage, I sucked it up and became adamant that this guy will be the figurehead and leader of my new army. So much time and energy had already gone into it, so please help me, let me know what you think I should use him as in my Sisters of Battle or Imperial Agents army. Any suggestions? The official kit of Karamazov is Finecast, aka Failcast resin. If you haven't used it before, it's basically very brittle, often full of holes and bubbles, but sometimes you get a kit that's actually quite fine. Thankfully, the kit I got was not too bad. The old Karamazov is riding atop an old school dreadnought chassis, and I'm afraid it just isn't epic enough to lead my army. Bibbidi bobbidi boop. I decided to upgrade him to a Primaris scale dreadnought, and I used the Ballistus Dreadnought from the Leviathan kit. Mainly because it was cheapest, and also it had a cool pose. So I got the legs and chassis built on the dreadnought and the top half of the throne. I then started dry fitting the model to see where it would need to be joined together. I first did the feet. These feet are so cool. They're the Inquisition symbol, but are the feet of the dreadnought, literally crushing your enemies with the Inquisition symbol. I used my hobby knife to bore out a little hole just to fit on the end of the pegs of the dreadnought legs. I did a dry fit just to see what the pose would look like, and I was very happy with it. Cut this nubbin off the top of the legs to get the pose and position of the throne correctly. It was at this point I noticed a lot of the Finecast was getting in the way of the fit. These little nubs underneath will have to be removed. I think these are where they joined the old dreadnought chassis. So I'll have to cut these bits off. So Finecast is really brittle, like I said. You might notice here on the front, the tabard has already snapped off. So I cut off bits and then remeasured them, and it's still not making contact. These bits here on the sides are getting in the way. These will be hidden underneath when it's finished. I then got a pin vise, which is like a mini drill, and some paper clips, and used them to pin the model in place. If you haven't got one of these, I'd recommend getting them. They're so useful, especially if you do kit bashing. And then I fixed the pins in place with super glue. fit the throne in place, and I glued the feet in place too. You can see here it's a very good fit. It's so much more epic than a old school dreadnought. I was trying to use as many parts from the original kit as possible, and it has these sort of greaves on the dreadnought. They had a little tab on the back which I cut off, and these are going to go on top of the feet and fill the little empty space between the foot and the leg. That's almost the perfect fit. So I just used my hobby knife, cut away a little bit at a time, kept remeasuring it until it fit. Notice this purity seal was in the way. I had to cut that off and remove it. There you go, perfect fit. So I repeated the same on the other side, and that's the greave feet thing, protective plate things on. Then got to work on these poles. You can see with Finecast how bad it is for straight things. So in the image here, they're straight and not wonky and wobbly, but these are 100% going to snap off at some point if I leave them. So I used some Sisters kits as well and got some Inquisition symbols and other bits off them. I was going to use these tabards as well. So I looked through my bits box and I found this Grimaldus kit from the Black Templars. I thought, why not use this cool skull thing as one of the new staffs? What I can do is cut the torch off, put that on top of the skull, and then cut the script off and stick that on the front as well. And then I can position them, make it look a bit taller and bigger. This Sister's relic sort of staff thing I would put on the other side as well. The braziers I just cut off, and the same for the scrolls. I cut the bits of staff off the back. You can see here how bad the Finecast is, it's so brittle. There you go. So I scraped off all the bits of staff. I'm going to stick it on here. I'm aware I've missed the hands off the skeleton as well. I need the end of the other staff to stick on here as well. Just chop the arm off. And then I glued this together. And then for the braziers, I drilled a little hole with my pin vise, and then drilled a little hole in the top of the skull after cutting off the candle. Little tip, if you use your hobby knife to drill a tiny little hole in it, it stops the drill slipping. Pin the brazier into the skull, and then make sure the Inquisition symbol is facing to the front. Little tip, I use an old pair of hobby clippers. If you're going to use your good ones, aim far down away from the tips, because you use the ends of the clippers to cut, and you very rarely use the very bottom of the clippers. There you go, so I put the brazier on, and then I've drilled a little hole on the back for the pole to stick into. This Karamazov kit is so detailed, it's awesome. They should definitely make a new one. I'm working out the approximate height of where I want it to be. I want it to be about that high. And I'm working out where to cut it to length, about there. So I cut the end off the pole, poked it into the hole. So she's done. One of the standards done. And then I repeated the exact same on the other side. Just removed this stuff off the top and cut a sort of flat top on it. So there you go, I've removed the banding of it, and then I've a flat area off the top. And I drilled a little hole and then put in the brazier. Then stuck on the scrolls. Looking awesome. And then I decided to do a retinue. I was originally using the same base size as Karamazov's kit. When I found out that the character's not being continued in the official rules, I decided to then upgrade it to a bigger base. I started building some random retinue and flagellants and things to put on the base. So I used these flagellants from the Age of Sigmar kit and one of the Grimaldus retinue things, just to see what it looked like. At the back here, there's a bit of like an empty space. I didn't like this, so I thought, why not put this flag on it? Because the front part will be covered with the retinue. And I thought, why not go full ham and try and copy the artwork exactly and actually build all of the retinue that are in the artwork. So I started on the Crusader first. The base model kit of this is a Sister of Silence. The armour they wear is almost exactly like the Crusader from the artwork. Only difference is it doesn't have a cloak. I'd also need a Crusader shield. The pose on those sisters is with their legs apart, and the model in the artwork has their legs close together, so I'd have to sculpt this. Ripped the legs off, stuck on the tabard, and then started posing the legs. This is as close as I could get. I then had to remove the cloak. And the closest head I could find is this Pius Vaughan, or Ministorum Priest. Pretty much exactly what I'm after. This Crusader shield is about as close as I'm going to get. And this spear from the Imperial Agents kit. So I removed all the bits I needed and started trying to work out where to pose them. I used some green stuff to sculpt the neck. And then I built a spear using an end of a paperclip. I also used green stuff to fill any gaps. I also used green stuff to make the scrolls hanging off the breastplate. Next model I worked on is the Assassin. This is a Death Cult Assassin, as far as I can tell. And this model here is as close as I'm going to get. This is fine cast as well, but I'm going to have to cut very carefully around the arms so I don't damage the head, and then repose the arms. So very small, delicate cuts. Slowly worked away the arm to remove it. There we go, armless. And then this is simple, just reposing the arms, putting a dagger in, and sticking some skulls on. The dagger is literally the sword I've just removed. I used the Sisters of Battle hand, some jewellery chain, and then stuck the skulls on. There we go, another one done. And this little shield thing. Then the flagellants. This is the closest one I could find in the kit to this bald lady. I assume it's a lady. I need to make a gag thing, which I made using the end of one of the flails. And then this guy at the back is basically this model, but with a saw blade. So I used the saw blade off a Penitent engine. It's a little bit big. So to make it smaller, more to scale, and to remove the teeth, I just cut down the teeth off it. It's about right. I also made a flagellant priest thing. This guy is a redemptionist from Necromunda, with a skull stuck on the end of his staff. That's just a normal Repentia, a flagellant, and then the guys I just made. Give them a really simple paint job. Some flesh washes and contrast, and silver, reds and gold. Looking pretty cool. These bases are amazing. They're from Unreal Wargaming, and I'm going to do a guide on how I painted them. Yeah, very good quality. So I sprayed the throne lead belcher, and then I did a highlight of dull aluminium from Vallejo. I then painted all the base colours down. I haven't done a detailed painting guide because it's so simple. It's just golds, reds and silver. Painted the flag, the Grimaldus flag on the back, or standard, whatever you want to call it. These are the colours I used, and then a black and white. I then used Nuln oil to wash all the silver and then a flesh shade to wash all the red and the gold. Simple as this. I then kneaded up any flat areas with the base colours, and then I covered it in decals, like loads and loads and loads of decals. Here's the standard painted, all the washers on and everything. And then boopity boopity boop, I covered it in streaking grime. If you don't know what this is, check out my Death Guard video. I go into depth on how you can use it. The reason I've done this, it gives it a sort of brown, darkish tint and leaves dirt in some of the recesses, and it matches the artwork. And then I painted some flames, and I 3D printed some candles, stuck them to the base, and that is the model done. It looks absolutely epic. So yeah, what model do you think I should run this as? Maybe the Triumph of St. Catherine? It's yeah, looks awesome, well worth the effort. To attach all the minis, I pinned them on their feet and then stuck them to the base. The flagellants, I did some glow effect on the back. I've painted the exhaust fumes here. I've done a guide on that as well if you're interested. Some blood for the blood guard. This is the sort of style my entire army is going to be like. So this Grimaldus thing's carrying a vat of blood. And thank you to my current Patreons, in particular my latest Patreon, Richard Viner. So let me know what you think in the comments. What do you think I should run it as? Would you have done anything different? Let me know. Here's a side-by-side comparison. Thanks for watching, and subscribe for more.